What's going on, guys? This is Hitchy Good, and today we have got to talk about this because it is the abysmal player count that is Battlefield 2042. But before I get too deep into this, if you'd like to support your favorite all-American freedom-loving gamer, please hit the subscribe button below and help me reach my goal of 500 subscriptions. That way I can unlock YouTube's community tools in order to grow even faster. In fact, let me know in the comments below if you subscribe so I can personally thank you. But regarding Battlefield 2042's player count, it's pretty bad. So bad that many people are watching to see if Battlefield 1 overtakes Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 1, a 5 or 6 year old game at this point, is going to overtake Battlefield 2042, and rightfully so, because it's just a better game. But this is what happens. This right here is exactly what happens whenever you take out all the things that make Battlefield Battlefield, and you tell the fans that it's a love letter to them, and you give all these vibes of Battlefield 3 and 4 and the good old days, the golden era of Battlefield, and then when it comes down to it, you just take every little money-making scheme, money-grubbing marketing ploy that you can find from other game developers and just smash it all into one conglomerate mess that we know is Battlefield 2042 right now. And you take out everything that everyone loves about Battlefield and you try to monetize the hell out of it. This is what you get, DICE devs. This is what you get. You get a game that has player count as low as 4,800. That was on January 13th. And, well, that's today. So, I'm getting my days mixed up here. But this is awful. This is absolutely abysmal. I swear to you guys, I'm not a weeb. Jeez, go away. Just by clicking that, I probably got a virus. Anyways, we're seeing it peak in the last 3 or 4 days at about 8,500, 8,200. And they're like, well, it's still staying afloat. No, it's not. It is not. With it dipping down to 4,800. Back here, we had up to like 15,000. But the deal is, when this game first hit, we had player counts of 100,000. People were so excited to try this game out, and now because of what the DICE devs have done to this game, it is now floating between 4.8% and about 8% of its former glory. But you can't even say glory because it was nothing glorious about it. If you look at Battlefield 5, Battlefield 5 has handily, and look at this, it's consistent too. It's very consistent. They're topping out 23,000, 24,000, 23, 20, a few less out here, 18, 20,000. Battlefield 5 is trouncing 2042. But here's what people are really excited about, and that is Battlefield 1 actually overtaking it on the peak days. It is matching Battlefield 2042 in some cases, and it's about to take it over. But once again, this is what happens when you put this out as a marketing ploy. You lie to your player base. Once again, last time when Battlefield 5 came out, you insulted your player base and mocked them. Now you lied to them by saying it's going to be a love letter to the fans, and then then come out with Rush game mode. We came out with Rush, what everybody wanted, and then you take it right back off. Like, what are you guys thinking? It's like a bunch of monkeys typing on keyboards up there and they just happen to make a game. It's nuts. I do think it is kind of sad that Battlefield 4 is still trailing behind, to be honest. Nowadays, it's between 4 and 2,000 players. But man, Battlefield 4 is a vibe. It is exactly what I think what Battlefield was back in the day. You can see the time leading up this had about 12,000. But this is what happens when you lie to your player base and you just try to make money off of it. The devs have got to start standing up to EA and telling them we're not doing this your way anymore because your way sucks. And I know a lot of devs are caught in the crossfire over this, but really, guys, y'all promised a whole lot. And now we've got tweets from DICE developers saying that calling the demands from Battlefield 2042 players as unreasonable, saying their expectations are too high. Well, who set those expectations? Who set them? It definitely wasn't us. It was you by saying it was a love letter to the fans, saying that we're farther along in the Battlefield development cycle than we've ever been. It's going to be ready when it comes out. It's going to be polished. This is fantastic. We're getting all these other development companies in. We're pulling them in just to make sure that this is the best Battlefield ever. And then it comes out and it falls on its face. No wonder it is now 5% of what it used to be. And now the devs are kind of coming out and attacking the player base. Devs, don't attack the player base. Attack EA. Tell the world what EA has made you do, what expectations EA has set for you, not what expectations the fans have set, because EA set the expectations for everybody. Now, this past week, I think Zach Mumbach, I believe, he is a former DICE developer. He was around when Hardline was out, and he went and tweeted this. He said, "We gave the Battlefield community a gem with Hardline, and they didn't recognize or appreciate its greatness because they were too busy complaining about the theme, rather than enjoying the silky smooth gameplay. Now, they are cursed to never be happy with a Battlefield game again." Zach, listen, I understand where you're coming from. I know when you see all this hate going on that, you know, that you have to identify with the current devs of 2042. But the truth is it's not some arbitrary magical thing that games are put out, they get hated on when they're really good. You don't blame the player base for not liking them. You blame the development team. All the player base wants is a Battlefield game. If they wanted to go play GTA, they'd go play GTA. If they want to play Call of Duty, they'd go do that. We love Battlefield for what it is and not what you're trying to make it into. We wanted Battlefield, but Hardline was more, it had a GTA vibe to it. It didn't, you know, communicate to the fans. That's why it kind of flopped on its face. And it was a decent game for sure, but this idea that good games are hated on when they're released and then they're loved afterwards isn't really right, because they've been good games that, you know, were loved on released and loved forevermore because they were good games. And just blaming it on some arbitrary power that makes people love a game just for nostalgia's sake, even though that does happen to some degree, the real truth is 2042 is such crap that Hardline looks good in its shadow. Hardline looks like a buttery smooth, epic Battlefield game compared to Battlefield 2042. Things have been getting so toxic lately, though, that Reddit has had to threaten to take down an entire Battlefield subreddit because people are so angry over these changes. Now, I'm not one to get real angry over a video game. I do not like the fact that I paid $90 for Battlefield. I've heard that Steam is actually giving they are taking the games back, even if you've played them more than 2 hours. They don't care, but considering that, you know, the player base is down to 5%, 4% of what it was before, they're making exceptions for this. Now, I bought mine on Origin, so I guess I'm just SOL. But guys, tell me what you think do you think Battlefield 1 is actually going to take 2042 over? I think there's a reasonable possibility that it will. You can't go much further down than Battlefield 2042 is right now. Of course, the devs have even stopped counting the player count for Hazard Zone. Like, Hazard Zone is so bad, like they're not even counting it anymore. You get in, you play the game, you end up with so much data that, you know, you can buy whatever you want to, and there's no challenge to it, and all you're doing is just, you know, building up for the next game in off of a few maps. And it's boring to say the least. And I so much wanted Warzone to have competition this time, just so they would be better. But unfortunately, EA and DICE have let us down again. But anyways, I'm probably going back to play Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, playing some Call of Duty. There's still some great games out there. I think they just fixed Modern Warfare. I went and played it last night, and it was a hoot, guys. Some of these older games truly are wonderful. And World War III is also getting a boost because 2042 sucks so bad. So there's a silver lining beside everything. But leave a comment in the comment section below telling me what you think of the 2042, the state of the game right now. The player counts. Do you think that Battlefield 1 is a better game and deserves to have a higher player count than Battlefield 2042? I certainly do. And if you want to, you know, debate in the comments, I'd love to do that. But drop a like on this. Once again, subscribe to your favorite All-American freedom-loving gamer. Help me hit 500 subs so we can unlock those community tools and 1,000 by the end of the year. But other than that, God bless and happy gaming.